Good afternoon. This is Ryan Krause. I'm the pastor of the Paxtonville Methodist Church in Snyder County. I hope this video finds you well. I have a video announcement that I would like to share with everybody who is connected with our church. In my 8 years of ministry, I have never faced a season as challenging as this one. COVID-19 has changed the way that we live our lives in unprecedented ways. Speaking as one, the challenge to your pastors and to your church leaders has been overwhelming at times. Trying to value the safety and health of our worshipers while also trying to seek our connection with God and with one another. As you probably know by now, late on Wednesday, Governor Wolf issued an order that would limit indoor gatherings in our state to 25 people, including staff. He was questioned by an interviewer, and the governor said that religious institutions would be exempt from this order. However, the bishop of our conference of Methodist Churches in this area wrote on Thursday afternoon, late afternoon, that he urges our churches to honor the 25-person indoor limit, primarily as an act of love to the vulnerable people who are with us or could be with us. A dilemma that we face at Paxtonville Methodist Church, based on these two recommendations, is that our indoor service has an average attendance of 30. I want to be open and honest with you. My primary goal since the virus hit has been to have our church make decisions that are as biblical and God-honoring as possible. Weighing the different perspectives on this has been incredibly difficult, to say the least. On the one hand, the Bible urges us to respect authorities over us, and we see that in Romans 13. And we know that Romans 13:10 says that love does no harm to a neighbor. So from this perspective, following the restrictions is a godly, biblical choice in order to do no harm to other people. But from another perspective, we have the dilemma of turning people away from worship. In Mark 10:14, Jesus says, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them." And though we often think about this verse being specifically about children, the Gospels regularly call anybody of any age who wants to follow and desires to follow Jesus a little child or little children. So from this perspective, the godly biblical choice is to do everything possible to help people experience God and not turn people away when we can. And the list of other possible biblical perspectives goes on and on. So to answer the question of what you're probably thinking, what will Paxtonville UMC do in light of the new guidelines from the governor and the recommendation of the bishop? And here's the decision that I've come to for July 19th in just a couple of days. First of all, as we have been saying for the last couple of months, if you feel unwell, if you feel unsafe, or you feel uncomfortable with in-person worship, please feel free and empowered and blessed to worship from home, and we have online options for that. We know that the current outdoor restriction is 250 people, and we do have an outdoor service on our property at 9 o'clock. So if you've been coming to 10:30 and you want to swap, it might be wise for some families to do that this coming week. I'm going to ask folks who are coming to the 9 o'clock service to please bring a lawn chair in case the numbers get too large for our outdoor chapel and we can better safely distance under the pavilion that has been constructed. Our music director, Adam Dietz, has been working very diligently to line up musical talents to help us worship over this summer. Violinist Katie Kelly has submitted a video for Paxtonville UMC this week that's going to be presented at indoor worship. And especially if you are coming to outdoor worship and you won't have the chance to experience that, I encourage you to connect to our online videos so that you can be blessed by Katie's talents. And here's how we're going to seek to honor the safety guidelines, but also remain welcoming at our indoor worship service on July 19th. As I mentioned above, my simplest solution is to request that maybe a family or two who usually comes to the 10:30 service would be willing to temporarily come instead to the outdoor service. That way it would help us to maintain the 25-person recommendation for inside for this week. And so if you'd like to do that, I would ask that you just be in touch with me as we coordinate it. But we also do not want to turn people away on Sunday morning if someone does, in fact, just show up and seeks to worship God. So what we're going to do is we're going to place some safely distanced seating in the foyer for this week. So once we have 25 people seated in the sanctuary, we are going to close the doors and invite folks instead to be seated in the foyer if they come after that. Please believe me when I say that none of this is ideal, and it daily breaks my heart that all of this feels so foreign to us and might cause people to stumble in their walk or be harmed. So please continue to pray for me as we try to balance all that we say and all that we do with godly wisdom and discernment from the many perspectives and information that's given to us. My biggest desire in all of this is to honor God in what we do. Because this has been such short notice and time has been so short to adapt, my goal is to follow up before next week with a more thorough plan for how to honor the bishop's request and our call to turn no one away from Christ, and to provide that information for you as soon as possible. Even if that means that we offer 10 extremely shortened services on Sunday or throughout the week. I want to do everything that I can as your pastor to help those who want to gather and connect with God to do just that. Literally, I'm here for whatever it takes. As always, please reach out with any concerns and any questions that you might have. Thank you for listening.